Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. I'm always right. I'm always right. Since the 80s and wasn't always cool, especially with the ladies. I was a damn fool. Dad was an alcoholic. Mama, she had to leave him. Grew up around the fighting, the fussing, cussing, and cheating. That's when I started breaking all of the rules. Selling drugs and robbing people. I was kicked out of school. I was a bad kid, tearing shit up. Sleeping on couches with 40 bottles and cigarette butts. Years go by and I got sick. Stage 4 lymphoma, how'd I get this shit? Lucky to be alive, so I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I'm wanting you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all.
What is going on, everybody? My name is Bleaves. This is Bedtime with Bleaves, Halloween edition. I don't have anything spooky here other than a spooky light in the background. That's going to have to do right now. But you know what? The charts are kind of spooky. If you look at them the wrong way, that is. So it seems like what we've got is we've got a market right now that doesn't really know what it wants to do. Seems like what we're looking at is a lot of nervousness as people start to price in, and people are going to price in. Thursday, we've got this Fed meeting that's going to have an announcement. The announcement will come out around 1 p.m., a little bit after 1 p.m., I think Eastern Standard Time. Or 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll get the announcement. We'll get the meeting. We'll have the news. Then we can grow or retract from there. But let's take a quick look at the charts and let's see what they tell us is going on. First up is Luna Classic, and you can see right here, like, we did not get at all what we were hoping for. We got a lot of sell down happening over here, and you see that it's trying to make a correction and come back into this channel. But I think that maybe I was a little bit too aggressive on the channel when I was making it, because it really was playing out in a specific direction. But it looks like it's probably starting to move down a little bit, because you can see here the tops are starting to form lower. And this probably puts it more in line with where it's supposed to be. So it's probably nothing to be concerned with. But let me turn off chandelier, by the way. You guys don't need to see that. But you can see right here that we're just not getting a big lift. And one of the other things that did happen today was Binance made an announcement. And their announcement was that it's effective. I'm not sure which date it was going to be, but starting October 30th to I want to say November 30th, they were going to do a 1 month burn instead of a burn every few days. So, I mean, we'll see how this goes, but I don't see how this ends up. I don't see how it's going to do anything. So I'm not really worried about it. But let's go look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, as you can see right here, still kind of consolidating. This is the Fed moment, by the way. This is where we hit that Fed wall, so to speak. But from what I can gather so far, it looks like, and if you look at this, you can kind of see that it's just kind of crashing through so many different points of contact right now. Bitcoin on this sort of move upwards, that I got a feeling that we've got a little bit more pump. And then right after the Fed meeting, and I think the Fed's purpose, by the way, is to suck the oxygen out of crypto and every other market. I think that that's exactly what they're trying to do. Is they're trying to just FUD this whole thing and turn it into a disaster everywhere. And it's not happening so far. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. But I'm going to, just so you guys know, tonight I made about $500 today trading Ethereum. I ran a little bit earlier. I'll show you the numbers. I'll show you the numbers in just a little bit. Let me finish this off, I guess. So anyway, Bitcoin's still kind of retracing just a little bit. It really looks like it continues to, I think it's moving sideways now and testing a new high here. So we're kind of where this is right here. I think we're probably going to see this 21,000 right here as the resistance point, maybe just a little bit underneath, maybe like 21,000 exactly, right in this spot will be like the resistance, and we'll see it kind of move that way. And then we'll see the breakout or we'll see the breakdown, one or the other coming pretty soon. But if you go out here, by the way, fascinatingly, and you start looking at this chart and you consider where we are from taking an arbitrary number, like from right here, because we've been talking about this resistance, etc. And you look at these things, that we're still in this kind of a channel in this area where it looks like we might have some significant more downside. However, the more I see news coming out, it really looks like the more hawkish of the people are really kind of anticipating that there's more downside to all of the markets, but there is a growing group of people who are really kind of excited and really saying that they think that the market is not going to be as like maybe what we're looking at is not as bad, because this is an exceptional sort of circumstance. And it's not going to be as bad as we've kind of priced in, and that maybe we'll be looking for a relief. And that means that we're looking at up to a $28,000 Bitcoin by the end of December. And that there's a lot of reason to think that this is going to extend. There's some feeling right now that Jerome Powell on Thursday is going to say two things. Number one, that they're going to do 75 basis points, which is basically already cooked into the books, so to speak. But that in December, they were going to do 50 basis points, and that might be the end for right now of that quantitative tightening, meaning that we should see the effects of all of this start to really bring down those inflation numbers. Now, the CPI number comes out November 10th of this month, or for next month. Comes out on November 10th. So we're going to have 9.3, and then we're going to have 1 week before we get the actual CPI data. So, I guess we're just going to end up seeing how this runs. But what I want to do now is I want to kind of take a look at, and what's going on, Cody Core, 912 all day long. What's going on? Beach Bum, how's it going? Tim Nation X, what's going on? And yeah, crybabies are crybabies, man. Michael Evans, what's with all the proposals, i.e. the 10% burn pot and 4+ million the devs desperately want? All right, so I guess to be fair here, developers don't work for free. And at this point, the people who are trying to do all these things in the Luna Classic community, there's no head. This is a community-based token, so we're starting to see the brunt of what that actually means in actual practice. And what that does mean in actual practice is this: that there's a never-ending list of proposals that they're never going to stop coming. People are going to be doing this nonstop forever. And that's why we have so many different newer requirements. Like you're going to have to put up like 1 million tokens. It doesn't cost you 1 million tokens, but you have to put up 1 million tokens and have them held in order to make a proposal. But it will cost you something to do it. Like it can't be, despite what everybody thinks, it can't be free. So that's where all the proposals are coming from, because everybody has a different idea. Plus, you have to consider this. And Michael, the best way that I've ever laid this out is this: Edward Kim is like a moon boy. He's like me. He's the guy that's thinking, this pie in the sky sort of thing of ours, if it really just kind of takes off and it really catches a life of its own, then this could be amazing for everybody, right? So we want to burn as much as we possibly can. We want to do it as quickly as we possibly can, and we want to turn it into something very quickly. However, that's not sustainable, according to Alex, because we can't do it with USTC, so we have to do it with USTN, which has a different mechanism and maybe take a little bit longer. Now, it may or may not, but that's the general kind of consensus. Alex says that we need to shed the basically it's 9.8 billion, but basically $10 billion of debt in USTC, so that we have what would be, I guess, in quoted as a fresh start. And then you have Tobias, which is Zerodar. And Zerodar is a long-term guy, and he is looking more like, hey, this thing is going to take probably years to really start to manifest itself the way that we really want it to manifest itself. So, let's just build and see what happens along the way. But there's no quick and easy answer. So you've got a liberal approach of burning a bunch, then you've got a conservative approach of just running the whole thing and seeing what happens. And those two are kind of at odds, not because those guys are at odds, but because the mechanism is at odds, because there's so many people who agree with one guy or the other guy. And remember, the Moon Boys, they want Moon Boy shit. They want to see this thing go crazy. They want to see massive amounts of money. They want to see massive amounts of profit, and they want it to be now, because they don't want to wait, a couple years. I mean, if you consider this, just, if you had 1 million tokens and you knew that those 1 million tokens in 5 years were going to be worth $1 each, then you're going to be a millionaire, right? So what else are you doing? What's the game with the rest of it? You know what I mean? We have to go through the days to get to where we're starting to burn significant supply, where we're starting to feel all of those positivity moves that these guys are wanting to do. We have to kind of wrap that up and turn it into a presentable package. And part of that whole thing is going through tons of different proposals and finding the best path forward, doing what the community wants to do, starting to find some direction. Now, listen, at some point it's going to end, because it has to, because a community is only as strong as its leadership. And at this point, we have weak leadership. The Terra Rebels are very nice guys, but they're not taking control of this thing for the good of the people yet. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean there's a problem with them as people at all in any way. It just means that, they're working for free so far, and they can't work for free. So a lot of these proposals are about getting them paid. A lot of them are about look, if you want these guys to do this, then it's going to cost. They're going to need to be able to do this as their job. You know what I mean? And what people want is all these Moon Boys out here and all these people, they want these guys to work for free forever. And then they just want to bitch about everything else. So that's not sustainable, and it's not going to work. So we're going to have to see somebody just finally say, this is not working out. And they're going to have to take charge. Somebody will have to step up, and somebody will have to take charge before I do. You hear me, boys? But anyway, so that's what's going on. I mean, that's why you're seeing all that stuff, because all these people are just, they're just crazy. Hey, Believes, do you know what crypto differ is? No, I have no idea what that is. What's up, D Hustle? Volt. Yeah, you're gonna be surprised with some of the things that are happening that are going to start to manifest themselves in very short order with Volt. Right now it's just kind of a calm bubbling under the surface, but it's not going to last very long, and you're going to start to see some things just really start to pop with Volt. So yeah, I would get prepared for that. But let's move on because I want to talk about Dogecoin tonight. I want you guys to look at Dogecoin right here and see what's happening right now, and see that if Elon Musk does what people are expecting him to do, which is name it as some sort of um, financial tool for Twitter, then this thing is going to really start to take on a life of its own, and it's going to start to really, really pump. And the question is, what are you doing? Do you have some Doge? And what are you doing with the Doge that you have? Knowing that at the end of this, the absolute high over here is about 75 cents, right? So you could go 5 or 6x from where you are right now. Could you go any higher? Well, maybe, but it would take a massive bull run, because that happened during the massive bull run. And you would have to have all the sentiment and all the good stuff behind you, and you would have to at some point maybe reduce a little bit of the supply, because it's not going to support a market cap that it has right now. It just doesn't support where it's sitting. So what are you going to do about it? And the answer to that, I don't know. You'd be fucking kidding me. Anyway, so what's going to have to happen with Doge is it's going to have some kind of use case come up, and if it does, then this thing is going to take off, but it's only going to go so far. So the question is, did you get in when it was 5 cents a while back? If you did, and you secured yourself a really good position, and you put several $1,000s into Dogecoin at one of these lower 5 cent numbers, then you're going to feel really good about your position pretty soon. You're already feeling super good about where you are, I would think, at this point, because getting up to about 15 cents, which I think it hit 15. Yeah, it hit 15.1 cents. And that's a pretty good run, So if you did that, then, take your profit and give it a little bit of time, and let's see how it plays out. Buy a dip, or if you think that it's got a little bit more room to run, then let it run. I mean, you do you. I'm not telling you what to do. Here's what I am saying though. I'm not getting into Dogecoin for 12.5 cents. There's no way in hell. I mean, you've got to look back here, and does it support 12.5 cents? Does it support in any way 12.5 cents? Maybe we could say right here it supports 12.5 cents. Maybe. But that was on its way down, right? So it didn't last here very long. It might go up a little bit higher. But the question now becomes, can it do anything about where it is right now and create that springboard in order to pump? And if it does, is it worth that long-term hold? It's not. This is a short-term play at this point. So don't put too much money in this, and don't get wrecked in a bad position hoping for a continued pump. You already got a big pump. You got a pennant flag saying that it's going to pump some more. And it is outside of that channel right now. Or, as with some of these channels, when we're calling them a little bit early, maybe it's going to play itself out a little bit longer, since now it's touching all these points of contact. And really, it's probably closer to this right here, if we're calling it. But it is forming a pennant. It is a pretty symmetrical sort of triangle. It is coming upward, so it is going to be a positive sign. It's a positive catalyst. So, I mean, you can kind of see it right there, but it's not going very far. It will not go very far. All you have to do is look at, and we're going to go look at this, because this right here is crazy. But what the fuck is this? All right, here we go. So we got $16 billion market cap. Doge doesn't do anything. So how much is the market cap for a token coin that doesn't do anything? So it's still really, it's struggling to find like real use cases and stuff like that. So it's got a passionate fan base. The crazy thing is, how have we not peeled a whole bunch of people away and got them invested in other tokens that we're in? For the love of God, like Jesus Christ, how do you not sway a bunch of what should be otherwise fairly smart people with like this Doge thing is just kind of nonsense. So, but on to the important thing. This is what I think you guys should see, because this to me is like the most important thing that you could possibly see. And if you see this right here, $67 billion in Tether in the last 24 hours. While, let's go over here. Remember, this is the last 24 hours. So we're going from right now at 20 to 20 yesterday. Where are we at? We haven't moved. Okay. So look at this number right here. That's basically no movement. So why the hell is there an extra 25% in money being moved by volume into Tether? But here's an even better question. Why is there even more being moved into USDC? That's up 49%. Well, 47% now. Then let's go down here to Binance USD, up 33%. So you got to be asking yourself at this point, with no movement, but all of a sudden there's a bunch of money entering stablecoins. What is happening? And that answer is we're preparing for something big. This is the possibility. And I'm not calling it yet because I don't know. But I am saying that it sure looks like that we're about to witness a run, that we're about to witness something happen, because USDT has a whole bunch of money in it. USDC just got a whole bunch more money in it. And then where are we at? Down here. And then Binance, same thing, got a whole bunch of money in it. And all of the stables at this point have gotten a lot of money in them. So I got a feeling that that's going to do something. What do I think of B-Rise? I mean, it's a blockchain. So I think that it's got an opportunity to run just like any and every other blockchain. I don't think there's anything special about it at this point. It's new. People like it. People are passionate about it. Not a huge amount of people, but I mean, who knows? You could see you can see what happens. What's up, Maddie B? What's your thoughts on Bollock's token? I like Bollock's. Derek is actually, look, there's very few people in this business. When I started in crypto, I didn't talk to anybody. And then at one point, Sandstorm reached out to me. And then Rodney reached out to me, and Austin reached out to me. And, we all kind of, we all talked a little bit, a few other people. And I still talk to Rodney. I try to talk to Austin, but Austin, I don't really get very much communication with him. Like I'll send him a text message and sometimes he won't even text me back. So, but Rodney, I talk to Rodney all the time. I should be doing a debate again tomorrow night with Rodney. But Kings from Kings Broadcast, I know some of you don't like him, but I don't give a shit. He calls me all the time to check and see how I'm doing. And when my dog died, Derek, Cryptobolics, he was calling me every day to check on me and make sure that I'm doing okay. And, he and I have struck up a pretty good friendship talking about, he's got, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't remember what he's got some big dogs. Like he's got some giant, he got these gigantic satanic looking black dogs that look like, they look kind of like bulldogs, or not bulldogs, but like pit bulls. They're massive. I don't remember what the name of them is, but he's got these big dogs, and he was like, "Don't buy a dog. I'm going to give you one." You know what I mean? Just, and then we talked the other day. We talked yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talk a lot. So I would say if you're into his token, definitely invest into it. Highly recommended. He's also working on bringing Web 2 business world into his cryptocurrency. Like, that's the whole purpose and the whole use case, is doing all of the good shit that goes on. Like, there you go. The Cane Corso. Oscar's got it. The Cane Corso. That's what they are. These big ass dogs with massive heads and big old bodies. Yeah, that's it. So he's like, yeah, man, you should get one of these. So what's up, Barney? What's going on, man? Hope everything's going well. Lily has started a run again. I just saw that. Back when Doge made that first big run a couple of years ago, I only invested 500 and made 15,000. Would have made more if I hadn't been hodling. Cashed out 30 instead of 70. Lesson learned. I mean, that's all you can do, man. Is, you know what? It's not about it's not about, nobody ever buys the bottom. Nobody ever sells the top. You know what I mean? Like, we just get as close as we possibly can, which was what I was going to tell you guys and show you guys in a little bit on the trade that I did today. Like, I didn't buy the top. I didn't buy the bottom. Well, actually, I did get the bottom pretty close to it, enough that it would be tough to argue that I didn't. But then, and then it ran, and then I just like jumped back out of it as quickly as possible, and made like $500 off of it. I put in 15 ETH at that point. So Austin, get into it. Yeah. Well, look, man, we don't see eye to eye about things a lot. But I think that each one of us has an opinion, and I think that those opinions need to be voiced over. And I can't look until I make a whole bunch of millionaires out of you guys, then not giving you financial advice, until you guys make a whole bunch of money. And I know, look, I've had people reach out to me over and over again to tell me how much money they made off of just following the stuff that I'm doing. And I know that because I know what I've made so far. But Austin, by virtue of, he has a lot more money in crypto. He's been doing this a little bit longer than me. He has a lot more. So I would value everything that he says. But we don't philosophically agree about certain things. And that's, I mean, it's okay. He can be wrong. He's been wrong before. You know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, he's look, I think the thing I was trying to say the other day, he was having a live stream, and Binance was supposed to implement a 1.2% burn tax, and Binance didn't do a 1.2% burn tax. And he was saying that Binance implemented a burn tax and it just didn't work. Right. It didn't work because he didn't do it. And he just doesn't, I know that he knows it. I know that he sees that it's there, but he doesn't want to acknowledge it because his argument is, even if it were, and this is a fair argument to have, even if it were 12 times as much as it is right now, that's still not a lot. So, what everybody wants to see out of the burns is not what everybody got. However, not everybody's doing it, and having those types of burns also would increase a lot of the trading. Remember, there was a time when there was billions being traded instead of hundreds of millions, and those billions would have ended up being a lot more burn. So all the things positive that could have happened didn't get a chance to happen because they didn't work out that way, because they didn't do it when they were supposed to do it, or like everybody wanted. And then his response to that is, well, it's their business. They can do what they want with it. And that's fair enough. But don't tell me that it didn't work, or don't tell me that they didn't do it just because they tried it and it didn't work, because that's not true. What happened was they implemented, 8% of what they said they were going to do and gave you 8% of the result, and they act like it's 100%, and he's acting like it was 100% of the result. But I mean, at the end of it, again, at the end of this discussion, he's still right in the context that that burn is not enough. But one of the things that was said a long time ago was that this is that this was not the only thing that was going to happen, right? So if Binance had done the full 1.2% burn, do you feel that it would have made a bigger impact? Well, it would have created more enthusiasm. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, so, if we get $400 million a day in volume and we burn 2 billion tokens. So imagine this, if we did 12 times that, then we would burn 24 billion tokens at 400. But what if we did 4 billion? Because there was a time when we were doing $4 billion a day when there was that FOMO that was happening. So if we were doing 400 billion a day instead of 24 billion a week getting burned, it would be 240 billion getting burned in that first week. How excited do you think people would be if they saw an actual amount burned that was commensurate with what we were talking about? And that's the whole point. And that's the part that he just doesn't get. And part of the reason he doesn't get it is because he understands why they don't want to do it. Because what Binance says is, well, that's our supply. That's not your supply. That's not the people's supply. That's our supply. And they want to make their money off of it. So, I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that's what matters, is they don't care about you, the investor. They care about Binance, the big company that's here to make money off of you. And that's what they're focused on. And, there's nothing we can do about that. So, and that's also very fair. I mean, it's fair of him to do that. I just don't like, I don't like, here's what I don't like. What I don't like would be, like, I don't name this. I don't put Terra Luna or Luna Classic or Terra Luna Classic in the title of something so that I can shit talk you guys and tell you that something's dead. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have anything of value to offer you, then I just don't do it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I might once, but I wouldn't do it all the time. And like, I think I got in on that thread the other day, and he's like, this was the first time in a week. And then I went back. It was not the first time in a week. It was the first time in a couple days, but it was not a week. And then he did it the next day. So, he called a bunch of people and said that it was all about engagement farming. And that's fair enough. I mean, we all want to have people pay attention, right? So I'm one of them too. I want you guys to pay attention to me. I hope I want to give you good advice, and I want you to make money. And then I want you to come back when you make a whole bunch of money, and then I want you to just be like, hey man, here's a donation. You know what I mean? And like, if I make all of you guys rich, then you guys make me rich. Like, that would be the way that it works, right? Like, you appreciate what I do, then, and ta-da, right? So the more people that do something, the more people that have something, the more people, blah, 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 that I affect, the better off I am in the future. And Ellis, Lunk doesn't have enough utilities for the burn to be effective. Before the crash, it had a ton of things built on it, in my opinion. Yeah, so Ellis, one of the things that's important right there, one of the things that's very important that like Ellis is saying, is that from September 2020 until the depegging, there was 1 billion tokens in the supply, and that was down to 344 million. So there is a massive amount of burn on a massive amount of an active network. Now, US Luna Classic is depegged entirely from from Terraform Labs. It has nothing to do with Luna 2.0. And Austin has just insisted that Luna Classic has to be part of Luna 2.0 because some of the developers are developing on there. Well, they don't have to do that at all, actually. If the DApp works and if they decide that they're going to, then yeah, absolutely. But he's only talking about some of the people who are currently working as validators. If it's worth doing, they'll do it. But that's not, the purpose here. And by the way, Terra Rebels should be satisfying those validators to the best of their ability to make sure that they do stick with it. But it has nothing to do with Luna 2.0. And I know that he's a fanboy of Luna 2.0. He's been raving about Luna 2.0 for a while, because I do think that he understands that, look, Do Kwon is a smart guy who made a mistake on Luna Classic, and now I think Do Kwon would probably have learned from his mistake and will now fix whatever it was. So I do believe that we'll see some positivity out of that. But I mean, again, it's just, he and I have I have a philosophical difference with him, and that's all. He's still, I mean, he's still an awesome dude. You know what I mean? So I mean, at the end of it, look, at the end of it, if somebody's fucking with him, I'm still going to be standing in front of them. They're going to have to punch me first. You know what I mean? Because that's what you do for your friends. But I mean, we just sometimes disagree about shit. You and a handful of others have set yourselves apart in the crypto circles by being honest. Hey man, I appreciate that. I try the very best that I can to make sure that I try the best I can to make sure that everybody has the truth. But you know what? I'm not an arbiter of truth. I'm just the person that's given my opinion. So at best, I can give an honest opinion of something and not always be right. I may not be right, but I'm going to try. I'm going to give you I'm going to give myself the opportunity to try to do that. I'm still going to remint everything that's supposed to go on the Burn wallet. Save 10% of that for devs. Burn it's left. We were promised no more minting. Doesn't that add more to circulation? Yeah. So Kyle, that's part of the mechanism, and you can't do anything about that, but it doesn't add more to the supply. If you go and look at it, doesn't really have a real effect. What's the point? You can see right here, we're still at the same amount of Luna Classic that we've been at. There's no new Luna Classic that's actually being minted. It's just a fault of it's the variance. And I think Tobias explained it in one of his posts where he said it's just, the way that when it gets added into that wallet, then it looks like it's minted and it's not actually minted. But when you look at that, but when you look at the total supply, see, the total supply is not going up in any way. Like, it's not been raised at all. It goes down every single day. Like, none of that really is becoming more. What's happening and what happened is it goes in there and it's counted as, for the purpose of that, whatever that wallet is, but it's not really increasing the supply. So, God damn it. All right. So here's what happened earlier today, by the way, while I have a second here. So I saw, we were right here. So I said to myself, like, what we need, or what I need is to hit this 1550 right here, right? And if I can hit this 1550 right here, no, that's not it. God damn it. All right, it was right here. So we hit 1550 over here, and as soon as we hit 1550, I bought in. Now, the first time it hit 1550, it went to 1565 in just like a minute. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But I came back, and so we got in at 1550. And then a few minutes later, this is 5 minute. These are 15 minutes, by the way. But this was like on the 5 minute when it was like right here. So I got in. Shit. So I got in not here at this 1546, but I got in right here at 10 o'clock on this green candle when it hit 1550 as it was coming back down, because you could see every time it hits 1550, it pumps hard, right? So I thought it's going to hit 1550 and it's going to pump hard. Well, it hit 1550 and then it was up to 1570, 1583. But I got out at 1575, and I ended up making like $400. So it was because I had 15 ETH in it, and then I waited for it to come back down, and then it came down here, and it didn't come to 1550. So I missed it, but then I recognized that it was going to do this, right? It was going to bounce and go up, and then bounce and go up, and bounce and go up. And then it wasn't enough to actually make any more money off of it. Or if it was, then it was just going to be like short term, sort of a few bucks here and a few bucks there. But then it came back down today at like 5 o'clock, and I was in the car to about 1550. And I was in the car. So I didn't find out until a little bit later on. And then I went to the doctor. They told me I was fat. So he can kiss my ass. But then anyway, what I'm looking for is, and the play that I'm looking to make is this. Like, I think that we're going to bounce around 1600 again. And I think it's going to probably happen right now. Like, I think it's probably going to pump up here, but then it's going to get rejected. So I'm looking for that rejection to happen. And you can see right here that there's a line where it looks like there's some rejection area. So we're going to get rejected, and then we're going to come back down. And I want to see it come back down below this, because it looks like it was respecting that line in the long term, right? Like kind of right here, but it's not respecting it on the short term. It's hitting 1550 and bouncing. But I mean, look at this. So I mean, you can almost call it, right? So 1550 bounces up to 1574. Now, if you have 15 ETH, that's about $400. So 1550 causes it to bounce up to 1580, which is about $500. 1550, and it goes up to 1600. That's $750. So, it's bouncing in this little channel, but every time it hits 1500, it just gets a strong push. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to come back down, hit 1550, and then just kind of ride it a little bit up. And like, I'm not gonna hold on for 1600, because I'm not here for the entire amount. I'm just here to make a few bucks off of a few plays. But it just seemed like, because I was at like 31,600 in cash, and I put some in, and now I'm over 32,000. So that was a good play. It was a good move. It was easy money. You know what I mean? And I hope that it stays like that for a couple more days. So high triglycerides, cholesterol. Yeah, I didn't get that much of a check. But yeah, it's like, stop eating fucking pizza and cheeseburgers and work out way more than you're currently doing. Because I'm Sunday. I might go work out on Sunday, but then I used to work out every day. I spent years working out every single day, twice a day. And then I got COVID and took some time off. And then that time just became more and more time. And then I got into this, and now all of a sudden I'm making videos, and now I basically have 2 jobs, and I just need to juggle adding something else in. So I actually have a plan, and yeah, so that was enough to tell me to get my ass in shape and start doing stuff. So let me get my ass in shape and start doing stuff. But in the meantime, we're gonna. Oh yeah, and I forgot the screen. God damn it. Terra will launch it in November. Yeah. But anyway, what I was saying was, like, I just bought down here and I sold around the top here, but I never buy the absolute bottom. All I'm looking for is that 1550 right there. Like, I don't need, if it goes to 1540, I don't care. Like, that doesn't mean shit to me. What I need is to get as close to that 1550 as I can, and then recognize that I'm probably going to be looking at, and I should make a line here to remind myself right now that that's going to be the other line that I'm looking at. So I'm looking at this bounce from 1550. And by the way, when you're doing 15 Ethereum, right, you're doing basically 1.5 times whatever your price point is, right? So if I'm doing 1550 to 1580, that's a price point of 30. And with 15 ETH, that's 30 times 15, that's 450. So if I call it just right from 1550 to 1580, then that's $450 that I would make. So that, obviously that comes with risk. Like you don't want to get logged into it for a long period of time or anything like that. You don't want to, you don't want to buy the top right here. Like here's the thing: never buy here thinking that it's going to go to here, right? Because you can see that this is what it's doing. So if this is what it's doing, just let it continue doing that, and then see if you can, find your way in there. If it moves up like this and you're in it, then good. But you could also be in it right here and be like, yeah, you know what? It's probably consolidating because Believes always says if it's on this right here and it starts to consolidate this way, then it's probably going to pump, right? And then it dumps like this, and so on this one, I just think that we've got a spot right here that seems to be pretty good right now. And we have, what is this? I mean, we got a couple more days, right? We got the date of the Fed thing. Son of a bitch, can be noon. All right, so we're going to do vertical line. It's going to be the 3rd. Basically right there. So we've got until right there. Things will get priced in, things will get priced out. We'll see how this market, bounces around, how it plays. But that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for this to come back down 1550. Then I'll try to ape back in and try to ride it up as close to 1600 as I can. Make sure that I take profit and don't get wrecked. Don't get wrecked. Don't get wrecked. So that's what I'm doing. But let's go before that, because we're going to wrap this up in just a second here. Let's go over here and let's look at these normal plays that we got going on. Don't know anything about proof of means except, look, I know that B Roots is super into it, and I'm not, and I'm not going to get into it because, the one thing that I'm not is going to waste my money. And I'm not saying that ETH 2.0 is a waste of money. I'm saying that it's already got a $22 million market cap. If I need a $22 million market cap, then I'm already in $22 million market caps. I'm not going to become a millionaire off of that. If there's an opportunity that I see in order to make a play, in order to make some money off of it, then sure. But is this going to run? And the answer to that is no, it's not. But it might at some point. So for me right now, the maximum that it's going to do is 4,400 right here. That's why I got this purple line right here, because that looks like the maximum that it's capable of at this point. Because look at this. It got close to it and got rejected, because this line right here at 39, higher than this, is even more important to it apparently. So it got rejected there and sent back down to the miners, and now it's working its way back up, and it's going to have to push through 4 in order to get to 44, where it's going to get rejected again. And we'll see, whether it's got some, we'll see whether it's got legs on it or not. But yin, by the way, if you guys got into the Yakuza that I was in, it's a small market cap, by the way. But, I told you guys a couple days ago, and I told you down here, you might want to get into this one because this one's probably going to be a decent play. And then boom, here we go. So I'm up real big on it, and it's a micro cap. It's a micro cap. And if I go over here and I look at it, then I have to put this in perspective, by the way. So this is what it looks like right now, right? And that's that's okay. That's, like a little mini cap. But then I looked at the token that the guy did before that, and it took 16 days to get to 1 million market cap. So this is on 7. So this one's got 11 or 9 more days. This one's got 9 more days before it reaches the market cap of his other project, of his first project. which is still around, by the way, and still active. So this is supposed to be an enhancement token to that token at some point, which is why he's building this one on the side. So, this one, if it becomes $1 million market cap, then damn. And I mean, look at the pump that it had a little while ago. It's up to 1250, I think was the number. Yeah. So it was at 1250. So it's down right now, 25% from where it was, and it's still up 52% on the day. So, I mean, again, like, this is a small market cap item with a big pump. So, but Lillian's up 8.4%. You can see over here, we're going to do this on the 1 hour right now. And you can see right here that after hitting that 24, like, this is the bounce that you're getting on Lillian. Like, it's literally respecting the lines right here, all the way up and down, all the way through. So you can expect that Lily. Now, the one thing to be, if you're making a play on Lily, you should note that the last two big pumps caused a downward trend, right? With downward trend, that means that this is probably going to pump to maybe 28 before it gets rejected if you don't have some kind of news. So I would watch that line and expect it to do just about that same thing. And you might even be able to make an argument that it's a little bit longer going out here and then going out here. But that doesn't mean that it's going to hit this 3,000 line again. It's going to come up just short probably. So, just pay attention to it. And remember, we had this conversation, but it just really looks like that's the line that it's taken right now. Now, the consolidation, there isn't really a consolidation happening right now. It's an upward momentum right now. So there's no real points of contact to say what's going to happen next, other than this last time happened. It bounced into the top here, came back down, settled around here, fought for a little while. Then it came back down into this channel, and now it's trying to pump its way back through this channel. So we'll see what happens, but expect it to probably get rejected right around that 3,000 level. Kodachi, you can see over here, 1646, still just keeps going. Trying to get back to its all-time high, which was a way off. This was a way off. Total market cap of 881,000. We got a couple influencers involved. There's a whole bunch going on. Up 33% on the week, 3% on the day. Hulk is at 3.8, 3% on the day, up 55% on the week, trying to recover a little bit of that previous glory right now. Remember, Hulk did have a nice little run that put it over here at 1384 as an all-time high, 1474 as an all-time high, and now it just needs to double its market cap where it is right now. It'll be back to that all-time high. So that's what that's working on right now. And WAGMI is going to release a trailer and maybe a game real soon. Like, they're really working on it. I'm trying to get them on Friday. I am having a show Friday. Starlink, the Starl token, is going to be there. They're going to be showing off some of their Unreal 5 game. And I'm trying to get WAGMI on, but Scott said that his wife tells him what to do, and she said that he can't do anything but drive on Friday night to go do something for her. So he might be kind of stuck. So I'll see if Ian or somebody like that can do something, but we'll let you know. But we're going to have on Friday, we're going to have a Deconnect. God damn it, I named it, and I can't remember what I named it. It was going to be the Deconnect Utilities in Action Crypto Show. So it would be, we're only looking for tokens that have a real utility available to it right now to get on the show, so that we can talk about those. Yeah, Gale is having a good week too. Terra is sitting around 94, 95, 92 now. Terra had a little bit of a dip. We should be seeing any moment. We should be seeing like an announcement for that launch Like we should be seeing it when it, by the way, remember, don't forget this. It did go down to 94, right? Yeah, it went down to 94. Okay, so something to remember here about Terra, the tax on this is only 2% right now. So if you're looking to play the market, then I mean, you look at this thing right here and you look at it going down to 89, and then you look at this run over like 2 days to 99, from 89, 89, yeah, from 89 to 99. That's about a 12% increase, roughly. And then you look over here, it was at 25% for the week, because from down here, look, just imagine you had 30 grand in there right there. Then you'd be sitting on what, 37.5 in just that period of time. So, I mean, listen, you just got to get in at the right time and hold on for dear life. So, this thing is going to run again. And remember, this had a billion market cap at one point on its launch when people thought it was going to be listed on Binance.us. So just remember that. MMAI, I don't know what's going on with MMAI. I have seen some video footage of a very GTA looking sort of game play element to it. Driving some cars or racing some cars, stuff like that. Like I really think that they got a lot to offer. And again, total market cap is 2.95 million, and the liquidity is 2.1 million, and that is significant. 24-hour volume is 3,000. So like nobody's investing, but nobody's investing anywhere. If you know what I mean, like you can look at a whole bunch of these, and I mean, you go back to Lily and you see 50,000. Like that's not a whole lot. You come down here to Deconnect at 1048. Same thing, 1.45 thousand in a 24-hour period. Swing Dow, 2,000. Volt, 85,000. Now, Volt has $3 million in volume through all of its different exchanges, but it got on a bunch of exchanges. So, that makes it a little bit easier. But 85,000 volume. Listen, Volt usually does 200 or 300,000 volume on Uniswap every single day. So, to see this down like that, that's just the market is kind of freezing people out right now. So, that's where we are. And, hopefully it'll get better, but hasn't yet. So I guess that's the update, guys. Yeah. So it's not financial advice. My name is Bleaves. I'm always right. I'm working on, trying to set up a new space, a new studio. Haven't got the camera angles right. Haven't got everything worked out. Trying to get it done. I still got this shit in the background here. This shadow. I have a light over here, but I haven't figured out exactly where to put the light to prevent the shadow. And then I got the light up above. Just trying to make it a little more presentable. So we're going to work on this over the last couple of days. And you see me looking upwards because I'm looking at a giant screen TV and I'm watching it being cast up there simultaneously with the laptop, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then I can read your comments a little bit better because I got a 15.6 laptop. You know what? I will get a diffuser, but one of these is a gigantic ring light and the other one is made for a diffuser. But it didn't come with one. So now I got to go get a diffuser. And I mean, that'll whatever, man. It'll be all right. Anyway, it's not financial advice. My name is Bleaves. I'm always right. We will see you guys again on Tuesday for Breakfast with Bleaves. Be careful tonight. I do think that we're going to probably get another pump. Remember, the European market has shrugged off their inflation data for the last couple of days. Now, there's either going to be a reckoning or they're not even going to give a shit. They're not even going to care. So, you know what I mean? Like, just a little bit more time and we'll see what happens. But I think that tonight, if we get down to 1550, I'm going to be watching on my phone. And if we get to 1550, I'm going to buy again. And then kind of, go to sleep. And then tomorrow, hopefully it'll be up to 1580 or 1600 again. But, look, there's some people calling for 30,000. Maybe 28,000 Bitcoin by the end of this year. And there's people who are calling for the bottom to just everything to crash. And somewhere in between is where we're going to end up. So we'll see you guys again soon. You have a good night and we'll talk to you again in the morning.